Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Katowice Royale. We have our first game of the day under our belts now, and now we are moving into our second game of the day. But before we do that, we want to learn a little bit more about some of the players who performed particularly well yesterday. They picked up a victory royale in the fifth game of the day. Those two players are Icefire and Realtie.
Zacząłem grać w Fortnite dosyć późno i dołączyłem głównie dlatego, że była to duża gra i grałem we wszystkie gry, które były competitive.
Zacząłem Fortnite grać dosyć przypadkiem, ale spodobało mi się, no i zostałem. Według mnie najważniejszym aspektem Fortnite jest budowanie, ponieważ otwiera one właśnie drogę do kolejnych jakby aspektów, takim jest aim, czy wyobrażenie, czy pozycjonowanie.
Myślę, że zauważyliśmy, że to jest ten moment, żeby przejść na profesjonalny poziom, kiedy zaczęliśmy wygrywać naprawdę mecze na wysokim poziomie. Żeby być lepszym duo w Fortnite, staramy się ćwiczyć codziennie, ćwiczymy różne aspekty, staramy się te aspekty rozbijać i w ten sposób trenować.
Mój styl opisałbym w ten sposób, że działamy na bazie pozycjonowania się, dosyć game sensu, z zapleczem oczywiście mechaniki. Czy bym coś poprawił? Wydaje mi się, że zawsze są minimalne rzeczy do poprawy, ale raczej nie myślę teraz nad tym.
There we go then, gentlemen. We've heard a little bit from them. Obviously, they picked up that victory yesterday. Expecting big things from them today?
Yeah, we've seen a few positions in Game 1 from Icefire specifically. Realtie, I think, wasn't in the end of that game, if I remember it rightly. Obviously, hectic game at the end, but yeah, we can expect quite a bit from them. I like the way that they're saying there's always something to improve. I think it's so difficult to put it into practice, though.
Yeah,
this kind of game.
On their interview, they hit on some good points as well with like positioning and how that is key. Like you can maybe not be as mechanically gifted going into a game, but if you've got good positional sense, good game sense, that can take you way further. Mechanics are important, don't get me wrong, and you know it gives you more tools to play with, but if you can put yourself at the right spot at the right time, that is by far the most important thing.
And one of the things we've heard quite a few times with these guys is like they kind of fell into the competitive side of things accidentally. They were playing the game because they enjoyed it, and then all of a sudden you start winning games, and then that ball just keeps kind of rolling, doesn't it?
I think that's a very interesting thing for Fortnite specifically. In my opinion, the way the pop-up cups play into things is a very unique way of esports compared to everywhere else. A lot of other games, the ranked queue, and that doesn't always translate if you're at the top of that you are competing. Whereas in Fortnite, if you're at the top of the pop-up cups, you are in the mix for everything, and that's where players are starting to get noticed.
Yeah, you just got to keep grinding those pop-up cups because you don't know what they could lead to in the future. Like from day one, I was telling every one of my teammates that these are super important.
Yeah.
You've got to play these. And most people, you know, they just weren't realizing this at the start because, you know, this is how Epic were gauging the competitive audience. So I hammered them out and I did quite well. Thank you very much.
Hey, there we go. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear some positivity coming in from you. Let's talk about Shiniki's mentality going to this game number 2 now. Obviously, huge victory royale to start things off. Great amount of points on the board. Is he going to be looking to maybe change and be aiming towards that end game, not looking for the elims so much and kind of just looking to rack up placement points now?
I would like to see him keep it at that high level that he was just producing right then at the very end game. But, you know, he might want to just chill. He might want to just take it a little bit slower and, you know, be methodical with his play and make sure that he just gets in the right place at the right spot. But, you know, there are 100 people in this game and sometimes they want to eat you for breakfast.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think one thing that I know Bola backstage loves tracking frequent drop zones for players. It's kind of difficult to do it in solos, but that is another thing that could change up is if a player says, okay, my strategy is not working, I'm going to go somewhere else. Suddenly the number of people in your regular drop zone might just change. So a player like Shikuni, who was playing for high ground, playing passive, might suddenly have a few more people contending him in the early game and put him into pressure where he has to fight.
Yeah, there's going to be some switches up. There's going to be some switch ups with some of the players that were uncomfortable on their first drop. Whereas Shikuni, obviously, he'll probably 100% drop in the same location, but you know, there could be an extra couple of people landing on him, and that could change up his game.
It's true, isn't it? You know, as soon as people notice, might spot him on the map, spot that skin, they'll be like, okay, this guy picked up quite a lot of points last time. And do you reckon a couple of players might be being a little bit more aggressive on him than they may have previously?
I think it's, as far as I can tell, it's a little bit trickier to know exactly, where a player is, especially in solos. There's so much going on, right? But I think it's the type of thing where almost guaranteed to have the game go a different way, right? There's so much variance on these drop zones.
You never know. He just could have the respect that, other players are giving him, right? They might know his drop and go, we'll just let him have it,
I'd go for him. Anyway, that's me. That's why I'm not very good at this. Obviously, round number 2 underway now. How are we expecting players' approaches? It's going to be similar sort of approach to yesterday with the duos where, as the rounds roll on and you start to get your points sort of accumulate, or in some players' cases, not accumulate maybe in the ways that they would have wanted. Are we going to see those changes in gameplay and in the way that they approach these rounds?
I think we will, definitely in the later rounds. But for round 2, as we drop in, I think things are probably going to be very similar. And from Tomato Temple on the stage to Tomato Temple in game. Let's see who's going to end up dropping here. Zacubus here in game 2 of the Katowice Royale.
And what a beautiful sight. As we can see, like a very nice little spread on the mini-map there of everybody going out. As you'd expect in a full-on custom lobby, that this would be the case. See where we got a landing first, and we've got Real Tie. Actually, he was here in Divot earlier on. He did get eliminated, I think, fairly early on.
I think so, yeah.
And so, dropping here again, not discouraged by his previous failures, but I like his... oh, here we go. We got the Precious as well. Did fairly well as well again into the late game.
Yeah, right on with Precious. There's at least 2 people around him that we can see on the minimap in Wailing Woods, and a few more scattered around the block, couple over in Lonely Lodge, but it's to be expected early on, like people just spread out. Kezi already picking up his first elimination. These are these early fights that we're seeing. Thanks to the action feed, we can keep a track of that, at least on these kind of POV. Server as well as has another person close to him as we see the angle. That's Dew, who had a very good day yesterday, actually. Dew ending up in quite a few of the final zones.
Yeah, this is some great positioning actually for Dew in the top there. And now we've got an agile push here coming from Server.
Yeah, Server going to get a lot of damage down even from the low ground with that tack shotgun in the early game. This is where this really reigns supreme thanks to the rate of fire. Will pick up the kill.
Nicely done there actually from Server. He had the better weapon choice. Even though he had the worst positioning, he already did some damage, so he could actually push more aggressively into that fight stress and have the confidence knowing that his opponent only had the assault rifle to play with.
Yeah, and Jaztec, as you see the tail end of that fight as well, just so many of these small, early engages going off. Shadow's going to back away from this one as Snowy trying to hunt him down. Can't quite get the angle for him, but will end up...
He's lost him, actually. Completely lost him. Shadow's going to get an angle here, especially with this scoped AR. He could do some serious damage here. Oh, just slightly misses the second shot. Could have been an easy 40 damage. Snowy now picking it up, understanding where his opponent is. Getting a bit farted on there.
Just putting the pressure out with those sync grenades, right? Making him move, delaying the ability to return fight. That was a really good shot from Shadow. Now has the high ground from the long range. Going to try and use that shotgun. Little damage comes down. Will pick up the kill for Shadow. That was really well played.
It's very, very well played. Great pushing. And what was interesting about that play in particular is that Shadow didn't peek the top of the ramp, but he peeked out of the side. And his opponent was just zoomed in straight at the top, and that was what did the damage and gave him the opportunity to then take the high ground without any form of, congestion.
That's always one of those things that you always have to vary up where you're looking. Peek the same place too many times, you will end up getting figured out. And Tajovsky here.
Yeah, we've got the same drop in Happy Hamlet as we did in the first game. Tajovsky, Hupek, and also Kutaban. Kutaban getting that sniper kill back at the sort of factories just a little bit further south to him. And it was such a nice shot as well, eliminating one of our favorites, Poviti. Such an unfortunate way to go, but, it happens.
Yeah, that's how it goes in these open areas where you've got terrain and people could just be hiding up on the mountain and suddenly you get the good angle on the peak. Oh, there's an elimination for myself.
It was a superb shot with the sniper rifle, though. Hats off.
Ooh, Hupek, look at this loadout already. Only thing I'm personally missing is an AR right now, but have a Rift to go, plus shields, everything. I'm feeling you're pretty confident there.
Yeah, I'd probably switch out just the silenced SMG, and then you've got a completely lovely loadout.
And that's early in the game to have a loadout like this, but damage down onto Morovka. There's a lot of damage from Yakos. Yakos had a pretty good day yesterday. These stink grenades just putting the pressure on completely. Good defensive play, at least for now, from Yakos. Stink grenade to pick up the elimination. Didn't even need to fire a shot.
What a way to go down. Oh, no. Oh, that's a horrible way to go there. Jakob's going to be happy with it, though, with, you know, taking out the sting grenades, but not even taking any shield loss there. Doesn't really need to do a hard engage to actually, you know, fire at his opponent. Played it safe, played it smart. Gets some free shield for his trouble, too.
And as soon as he knew he was low health, ooh, speaking of low health, Varaxa was in the final zone, and Varaxa is on about 4 health. That was not a bad estimation as he starts.
He's going to try and heal up.
Oh, this is such a difficult spot to be in, though. But always be aware that that trade is possible, but not for Varaxa right now.
The window edit was too quick. It was too quick. I don't even know if he knew that that wasn't his wall there for a second. I think he got a little bit confused as Dav has ran off into the distance there, farming up after his lovely victory there.
Yeah, that was a pretty slick edit. Now, Dano, we're so many people low health here as we track around the map. That's Noisy. We mentioned him in the last game. We're over at Paradise Palms. You can see how many people are spread out in the vicinity. No real congestion yet. And Dano, that means he's going to get a lot of time now because Noisy's backed himself away. Both players kind of safe.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Both players are actually relatively low. Noisy does have the health advantage. Obviously, they had a bit of a tiff and fell out, but Denor, very, very lucky to survive here. I feel like Noisy could have pushed the equation and probably actually finished it off, but he didn't have any spare shields on him, so this is why he's backing off. He feels more confident fighting with at least 50 shield, and he doesn't want to take the risk of being eliminated just from one shot.
Now, I talked about this a little yesterday with Baller, the secret base area of Wailing Woods. You got those infinite rifts, there's a rift to go, there's a lot of loot there if you have the time.
Yep.
But we're jumping over to Philip and Laidback. Laidback has the high ground, but he's directly on top of him, trying to maybe get an edit play or something, trying to just get that side wall off if he can to edit through. But good timing on the run there from Philip. Now drops down to the side. Philip nearly gets the angle for the shot, but isn't quite able to connect in the way he wants. Drops down, puts Laidback on equal terrain. This is a very precarious fight, and Laidback connects with the one bump. Philip will end up going down, but here comes the third party, down to 43 health, and suddenly Laidback in more trouble.
Oh, the pressure's now on as Charway has seen blood, but he doesn't want to push it now. He's got the damage, but he's gone, I'm out.
Yeah, the thing about it here is, right, Chowe says, okay, if I could get it there, it's worth pushing, but is it dangerous to push in? We'll find out in the future because we're taking a look at some of the earlier kills in this game as Yagi tries to connect with that first one. Oh, Klinger in the living room.
That was a really smart play there. You know, the Klinger on the side of the wall, forcing his opponent out to get the easy shotgun shot. Lovely stuff. And here are the stinks again from Jakos. A little bit earlier on as he takes out one of the favorites.
I said without firing a shot. Jakos did fire a few to begin this elimination for himself, but it was ended with the stink grenades. Window edit came through. Doesn't matter. We know what happened in the end of that.
It was pretty savage, to be honest.
So, Mikey S. up in that Stormwing. 0 kills. This is that position where you're at 0 eliminations hovering around and you're playing for the late game, hoping you can pick them up. Loadout's okay. Like, it's pretty good. Has a good mix.
It is a good mix, and, you know, again...
Was that a trap kill from Sebas? I heard the trap reset.
No, I think that was just a placement of a trap. I think somebody else actually came in with a third party. Hyvik running off in the distance.
Okay.
I think he managed to find an opening there on the side. But the trap play was kind of very late. Skix here and Jarchu down at the bottom there, fighting in this build-off, but losing each other. And Jarchu's found a little bit of space for himself. He's under the pressure, though.
Skix is the one that is hunting him down for now, trying to just angle through. Which wall's he going to break? They're roughly the same. If he can get through, maybe try and play that mind game here. It's all on Skix.
He's trying to do the cheeky wall replace, hitting both sides, and then finding an entrance. He is going to keep spamming that AR, trying to find...
Did he get the second wall? Oh, no. Good back out, though, from J2. He dropped in. The damage down from Skix. He's going to try and shut him down. J2 wins from inside and picks himself up. Full health, full shields after that chug.
He was 33 HP. He was 33 HP before that engagement. Manages to squeeze out the win with some great shotgun damage. Really good reaction, and a little bit unlucky there, really, from the other guy, as he was pressured in such a way that he missed his first shot.
Now we're going up and up and up as Oroch is trying to find some kind of a position on QoS. QoS will kind of move outside, trying to go down. Did he have a redeploy or something? Took damage by the looks of it. Didn't see exactly how he fell, but now he's at almost 0 health. But here comes somebody from above. The hunter becomes the hunted as Oroch will end up falling to Zeke. But in comes that Stormwind damage from the side, and Zeke's going to just trade it back. He's going to say, all right, I'll take this fight.
Zeke going to be happy with that. Going to go down, loot up a little bit. Has to be a bit careful of the Stormwing. Obviously, if it's flying around, was like, maybe I can third party this, but Zeke is showing off some resistance and going, you'll have to think twice about that, mate.
Ike, Venox, and Hacky all in retail row. You can see 2 players. Kuki is up there as well. So, a bit of congestion around the shops here. Gonna take a while to get out of the parking lot.
This is very dangerous from Hacky here. There's a lot of players out there, and as he's started to get lasered, he does build in time. Luckily, doesn't get hit there. Just wants to farm up as much as possible. He's a little bit limited, hence why he's out in the open just trying to farm these trees as much as possible.
Have we got a dogfight? We never see a dogfight. This is Mundo up against Mario Sella. Mario Sella's just going to drop out. He had Mundo on his 6, and there was no way of getting out of that position without ending up ejecting. So Mundo kind of takes the skies, has control.
He does, but he is in a very precarious situation, Stress. Look at the health of that Stormwing. It's on fire, pretty much. Anything that spat on it would make it just explode.
At this point, though, as long as he can sense where the fire is coming from, he can stay up there for a little bit longer, right? It's okay for now, but you are very right in the fact that if anybody puts heavy AR fire up towards that Stormwing, it's gone. So just peeking through pyramid piece at the top, and here's where the game, as we said, does start to slow down before it really reaches the crescendo, just because of the way that the last few people coming into the zone, you don't want to get eliminated here as Simon just did in the action feed.
But Nox here, just making his own tunnel base here. It's a bit of a 4x4. No, actually, a bit bigger than that. He's just farming out the entire Nom's shop there.
Ooh.
But, gets tagged!
Yeah.
Gets tagged there by Jakos in the little back of the house there.
Yeah, now he's going to try
he's a bit cautious because obviously he doesn't have any spare shields. So he has to be very, very careful. And that is not a sound you want to hear, Stress.
No.
When the stink grenades come in and you've just been hit.
Not at all, especially when you know there's a lot of people around you. At least he's equipped for a close quarters fight, should this happen. Trying to edit his way through balloons. Doesn't pick him up, doesn't really want to be, you know, sitting up in the sky with that 1 balloon, 2 balloon for now.
And obviously he's got 2 players next to him for Nox. He's just got to be very careful, make sure that nobody tries to get an edit play or try to gain into his personal space here. He does own a lot of that building, but
Evil's dropping down. Didn't take damage from the fall, but he's right into a fight here as Dav is pushing him from one side. There are 2 other players to the west of him as well on the minimap, so if he peeks out in the wrong area, Evil could very well get picked up from behind, but picked up from the front for now as Evil takes a lot of damage. Now has to try and steady himself to get those mini potions, but you can hear the grenades rattling around.
This is
enough time?
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Getting damaged pretty heavily. This is just going to confirm more pushing, more nades incoming. This could be an elimination here for Evil. He's desperately trying to place.
Somehow placing these metal walls for as long as possible. Dav is trying to get through that front panel, but can't quite get it, and Evil was denied that shield.
That was the right move from
Dynamite. Ooh, he caught himself with the dynamite. That turns this trade quite drastically. If Evil finds the angle, maybe this is everything he's looking for, and Evil gets him.
Oh, that wall placement. He thought he secured the wall. He did not. Evil saw the gap and went for it. Manages to get that pump shotgun from above. That was absolutely insane play from Evil. Saving himself from all that pressure from the third party. And also, you know, making sure to get that mini off just in time so he could actually put some pressure on, and it saved himself. He came into the top 3 last game, and now we switch over to the action at Retail Row.
Yeah, Nicek trying to just gatekeep the top side of Retail. There are 2 players right around him, and then 5 players on the edge of retail as well. You can see Haki, Nero, Katrab, Mikuki as well. Everybody trying to make their way through, and we've got as many angles as you need on this fight to keep track of everything. Hilu coming around the outside as well. Nobody's really getting the shots off yet because we're at 55 in the game. 5 more eliminations before these players will start securing placement points. Kesi trying to get up. Oh, and there's the trade from behind. Katrab peeked out just too tall and ends up getting shot from the side.
We've all made that mistake, Stress. We all get too greedy, and he did a lot of damage there. He wanted to finish the elimination, but doing so cost him almost his life.
And here's the Storm Chaser time coming. There's the fighting in the Storm. Rift to go. Out they go up through the skies, and Nasic's going to be able to stay alive. There are so many weak people on the edge of the Storm. If you can get 1 or 2 eliminations, it'll put you all the way back into this game.
For sure, like just getting those eliminations, getting that shield back will give you a lot more sort of removability there, Stress. And Jakos making a rotation at the low ground of that hill, good idea there. Gets a lot of that, gets a lot of those eyes off of you. You know, when you go in through under a mountain, nobody's gonna see you.
A stink grenade up into the bottom of Nero's little building there. Just to make him move, just to force a little bit more, and that's the end of his healing. Those bandages have run out for him. RPG from behind as Kuki doesn't really stick around.
He was so focused on picking up his own elimination, he didn't see that there was a hole in the back of his base. Not always a good move. This is the thing, like, you're trying to pick up those eliminations, you're trying to put pressure onto people, but as soon as you do it, somebody else is gonna see that you're not concentrating and put the pressure right back onto you, Stress.
And it's just that constant RPG fire that you can hear shot after shot. Now, of course, they're reduced because of patch 7.4 moved them into the supply drop, so less frequent than we had seen in patches gone by, but certainly still as effective.
Can still find them in vending machines too, and if people have those early game, you know, spots where they like to pick up a vending machine, such as Paradise Palms, there are 3 vending machine spots there, so there's a good chance that you might find a rocket launcher.
Certainly Paradise if you've got the money to exchange on those materials, but that was hashtag, I think, that had that RPG. We can see advice on the top right side of your screen along with hashtag. Yako's going to try and peek out with that heavy AR. Has to be careful, so resets the window almost immediately for himself. RPGs from the top. It was hashtag that we were talking about. Edits back down, retreat, under fire from about 3 people, and look, oh, he actually got saved by Hupek. Hupek ripped to gold, and it sucked him in.
No, that was actually a retreat going with the.
Oh, so Hupek got brought up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hupek was going in for the the elimination.
The elimination.
He knew that he was low, but Retreat actually rifted out to get out of that situation because he knew he was just going to get continually pressured after he took the damage. And yes, that's a flying bush. Stress.
So he's got, you know, the protection from the storming, protection from the bush.
It's double protection. I mean, don't complain.
At this point, he's in a great spot. So that Rift to go play just saving Retreat's life. As Hupek, that kind of changes his game plan a little bit, but I think he'll take a free Rift to go.
Did we see if Retreat actually get out of that situation? Because like he was in the air for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't think he lived.
So Hupek is still alive. Who was up there with him? You can see Hupek in the middle there. So that does make sense because Hupek did have a lot of survivability at the time. Icefire trying to get any kind of vision that he can get.
Oh, pushing for the high ground here. Hashtag going into the circle. Has he secured it for himself? I think he has. So he's going to be in a very good situation coming into this late game.
We were tracking Shakuni, our winner of game number 1, and Shakuni is still alive in this game on the south side of this circle. We haven't seen him in the action this game at all. So Shakuni, we'll see whether he's got any eliminations to his name as well as Yakos. He's on 2 and looking for more. Oh.
Hashtag securing some lovely eliminations there onto Macius. Picking off left and right and center, and Zeke getting pressured from 2 sides, but has managed to find some space at last.
Ooh, Mario Sella gets taken out in midair by Yakos. He's done so much work with this heavy AR, just raining through from this somewhat safe position. Retreat did just get eliminated from this one, so he didn't get picked off through the air. He managed to survive.
Impressive stuff from Retreat then to survive that long, but I guess he didn't have any extra healing for himself.
Noisy's still alive. Shikuni, as we said, still there. Zeke still up. Teak, another player that we saw a lot in the last game. Jeju out in a 1-by-1 that's kind of bridged its way over the valley, and now he's under so much pressure because people have noticed where he is.
Yep.
Jeju, this is such a rough position to be in. Somehow you've got to get to a safe spot.
He's going to have a real tough time. And
Hashtag just fell to evil.
where did he disappear to? He just, magic there, just disappeared. He put a campfire down and then suddenly he's gone.
Precious is there. Sake is still in this game. Richard, who fell early in the previous game, still alive as well. He was the one that picked up Jeju in the action feed.
Pupek picking out Mundo as well. Nice to see him doing so well as well.
Who's at the top of this tower? That's what we want to know. We just had a launch pad, but look at how little building there is. It was Precious that just launch padded his way up into safety for now. Shikuni picked up one elimination for himself. So we're starting to settle. 25 people alive as Storm 6 closes. Ooh, Black's 1 health survives through that.
Oh, can he survive the storm? It's coming in pretty fast here. Manages to get those little shields off, but he's going to keep on moving. He has to stay ahead of the storm at all costs. Hopefully he finds some elimination on the rotation and get 50 health for himself, but it's a tough ask in this situation, Stress, as you can see here on the wide shot.
Precious all the way up at the top. That's where you got to look at some of the real contenders, is how far up can they stay for now? How much out of the mix can they stay and keep themselves alive? A lot of damage traded from just aside from Precious. He got a wall up in time to deny an elimination, but he's really toying with the edge of safety here, trying to go through. That's an RPG. Precious drops all the way down, really low. And Shikuni, again, king of the mountain at the top. He is as high as you can possibly be from all of the players, but he's got 3 eliminations this time.
How has he done it, Stress? How has he got up there again? How has he secured that high placement? He's clearly going to be very, very good at taking this. And oh, Precious has to move very, very quickly.
Precious down to 6 health, but Yakos picks up the elimination for himself, and this zone is closing very quickly. We've just seen Mosby pick one up as he drops to Skokas, and everybody is in such close quarters. Evil caught out in the storm, can't quite heal his way through it. Richard's gonna fall as well.
Shit on the low ground, pushing up onto the high ground, trying to find some spots here. But is Shikuni still up there? That is the question. Is he there spraying down on his opponents from above? But it doesn't matter because Shear's going to open up that box
6
like
elims.
a legend. And with 6 elims too, Stress. Quite beautiful stuff. 4
players remain in this game, and Shear just picked himself up that 6th elimination. The zone starts to close. Who have we got? We've got Yakos. Shikuni now down at the bottom has been unseated as Shear up there as well. Somebody is raining down from the top. That's Kudaban, who we've seen a few times. But look, there's no angle for a clean shot. Yakos trying to just pickaxe his way through.
Interesting. Shikuni has been playing this so well at the high ground. It's funny to see him actually at the low ground here. Obviously, that's the reason why Kutaban had the rocket launcher. He must have knocked him down at some point and then retook the high ground. So Shikuni now going to be turning into a low ground warrior. And we can see how good his building skills, how good his editing skills are
and
at
we're
this point.
Moving on all 3 axes here. Everybody's trying to find their way through, whether it's hide, whether it's trying to go through, but the clingers are going to bring it all down. If somebody's at the bottom, Shikuni takes a lot of damage, I think, on that trade. Did take some. Will get the wall back. RPGs raining down from the sky, and Shikuni now has to move back into a different direction. 4 kills to his name. Clingers from the top. Yakos is trying to take everybody out if he can follow it up with some damage, but he falls and catches himself. He got the elimination onto Kudaban. He's going to keep just stairwaying his way down into the zone, but look, he's caught for now. Yakos will drop too.
It's a 1v1 here, Stress at the very end.
RPG.
And Shear is in a very bad position here. He's got a pressure by the rocket launcher, and then the pump comes out from above into the top of his dome. Lovely stuff there coming from Jakos. Very well played on the high ground.
7 eliminations plus the victory royale for Yakos. A really solid performance in round number 2.
Oh man, that was very, very solid performance coming out there from Yakos. Really showing his dominance in the last circle, putting that pressure on, and the discipline to hold on to those clingers for so long. I would have used them way, way earlier. I probably would have died way, way earlier too.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm sure that I wouldn't have got anywhere near that final circle, but I mean, a great performance there from Jakos towards the end. 7 eliminations, the thing I want to point out as well. That's a huge amount of points on the board from just one round.
Yeah, that's massive. That's 100 points. 65 plus 7 fives, 100 points.
100
Quick
points.
math.
Confidence? Hey,
Math
look at
on
us.
stream.
Get all the
Normally
maths
don't
done.
do that one. That is normally one you avoid, but...
What a performance from him towards the end as well. I mean, to hold on to those clingers, like you said, towards the end. Obviously, had the RPG as well. He had all the explosives you could possibly want to force that battle at the end. But another player who's had a pretty solid performance there was our winner of game number 1. That was Shikuni. He got down to those last few players once again.
Magically, we just pan over and,
Yep.
Shikuni's up at the top again.
Afraid he got knocked down somewhere in sort of that sort of late game area. Obviously, there was a lot of players with the rocket launcher spamming up to the top, knocking him down. He didn't want to be down there. There's no way he would be down there. He was very, very secure from the high ground. Even if he had to drop a couple of layers, he still had so much room to maneuver. So there's something amiss there, you know. He's not going to just leave that go. And also, you know, Yakos was able to get that high ground, secure it, and wait for the perfect opportunities. The patience to be up there and, you know, not get too greedy. And it can be tough to do that. You know, you see such easy opportunities, and he waited for the right ideal moment where everybody was coming off the mountain and on a spot which could easily be spammed.
I mean, there were a couple of individual players in there from a couple of players who didn't quite make it as far towards the end game that could be so important as we do look back from the replays here. My favorite part about this is they showed the replay of the pump shot being missed. It was all in slow motion. It was like, yeah, you missed.
But they did get the excellent play after it, which was the, you know, the bait tactic with the clinger, putting it on the side of the wall, forcing his opponent out of that base. And of course, we can see the Jakobs. This is the start of his journey on this game with those sting grenades picking up a lovely, lovely elimination.
And what a game, like 7 eliminations on top of it. This is the big performance that we were wanting to see more of, and there's only 1 or 2 games yesterday that we saw, for instance, Precious and Advice pick up 7 kills between them in the final round. So refreshing to see that some of these players are starting to be more aggressive, looking for more the drop shot there, trying to just get anything that you can, but it was a really fast-paced, action-filled game again, and that is the difference between solos and duos, I think, here. We're seeing people be a little bit more comfortable on the stage.
And there's one player in particular from Evil as well who came second place in our first game. I mean, there was one point there where, you know, his opponent got control of 2 of the walls and he managed to edit his way out and somehow stay alive and come back out and challenge him with that pump and win that battle. Those little eliminations, that's 5 points on the board that, you know, if you look at the leaderboards towards the end of the day, that could be the difference in placements.
Oh, it was such a superb move from Evil, though. As you were saying, like, the timing, he just found the split-second window to get past that wall, and his opponent was, like, so secure. He felt, oh, yes, I've locked this down, and then suddenly, pump shotgun, top of the head.
Okay, well, I believe that Adam is on the floor at the moment. Adam, where are you? What have you got for us?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I am center stage right now, joined by Jakos, our Game 2 winner. What an incredible end to the game that was. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, first I think I will go high ground, but then I go, like, I was going mid ground. I was building boxes and shooting to others. I was trying to shoot to every people I see. I had some ammo. I was shooting to people to make damage because Storm Surge, and to because some people have sometimes low HP, or I can kill them, take them their mats and weapons. I was going mid ground. Later I go low ground. But then when I kill somebody, I had a launch pad. I was going this low ground. There was not much people, so I was going low ground. And then I think I will use launchpad to go high ground because high ground is so good, and not always, but it's giving opportunity. It's giving.
You walked us through. So it was so detailed there. Obviously, you're constantly thinking about tactics as you make your way through. You must be really pleased. 7 eliminations and the win, 100 points. Does it put you in a good position moving forward?
Yeah, and I will try to make more kills because there is money for kills too. This why I'm shooting to everybody to try to take those kills. And two, you have HP for kills, so it's good to kill people.
I must ask as well before we go to a break. I asked you before, just before we kicked off here, I said, are you enjoying yourself? Are you having fun being here at Katowice Royale so far?
Yeah, I'm having fun. Maybe there was problems technical, but the event is great. I'm having fun.
Brilliant. Well, this could be yours later on if you keep playing the way you did. Well done. Congratulations again. A Game 2 winner there. We must go to a break. We're back in a bit. We'll see you there.